Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, so this is part two because, oh my gosh, this video had so many things that I have been talking about. Oh, it's refreshing. Well, having proof that I'm right. I already knew that I'm right, and some people are like, how did you know? Like, because I've been living it. Because example after toxic male example. And the crazy thing is, like, we have all of these alpha men, red pill men, passport bro men walking around because they have so much hatred for women, so much toxicity, such like interesting perceptions of what women are supposed to be or who we are supposed to succumb to. And it's to a point where it's just like, hold up, wait a minute, what? And it's like they think submissive as control, as own, as property. And they hate that a lot of women, we are independent or we are becoming independent or we figured out ways to be more independent where we don't have to jump when they say jump, make them a sandwich when they say make one, etc. And like men hate the independence. And that's one reason why Passport Bros works for some of them, because they want to go to the countries where women don't have. But then at the same time, it's kind of ironic because a lot of the women over there, a lot of the like gangs over there are figuring out their play. So then they have learned how to play the Passport Bros to the point where a lot of them have been eliminated. And you know, but what I mean by eliminated. So, yeah. And it's like, and a lot of them don't care to learn about the culture. A lot of them, like, they just think of women as property and they're going to change and mold that woman into what they want. Even though that woman didn't grow up, especially within their environment, they expect them to mold into what, like, their expectations. And that's pretty disgusting to me. But a lot of American men, a lot of conservative, especially American men, they expect us, white or black, doesn't matter what nationality, people of color, white, black, a lot of them expect the woman, even if they didn't grow up in the same state, city, area, whatever, demographic, they don't care. Woman, be like who I want you to be. Change into what I want. You are going to fit all my desires. A lot of them are only looking for, does she have the right chest size, behind size? Is she the right color shade? Is her hair long enough? And or is she feminine enough? Because a lot of men on their profiles are just like, I want a woman that behaves. I want a woman that acts right. I want a woman that knows how to be feminine. I want a woman that knows what femininity is. What's your definition of femininity? And oddly enough, there was just one guy, it was a hater off of a woman who had like around 21 different surgeries, whatever. And she was talking about her transition and stuff like that. And this guy is just like, oh my gosh. It's like in the Bible, it's like you're not supposed to wear, a man is not supposed to wear what a woman wears and all this other stuff or whatever. But it's really funny when Ted Cruz has no problem wearing heels. Back in the day, men were the ones that wore heels because they wanted to be taller because of women's expectations, especially, but also so that shorter men were able to look other taller men in the eye and stuff for business and different transactions and things. So it's a unique, like, there's different branches of the history of heels, but men were the ones that used to wear heels. Men were the ones that used to wear wigs, and even their clothing, it's like their tops had kind of a dress like bottom at it, and so it expanded or and embraced the wind to like, it's like, it's funny when I watched the episode of the Try Guys when they were wearing dresses and stuff, and they're like, ooh, it's breezy. Yeah, it's like a lot of the clothes embrace the wind and stuff like that and the breeze. But okay, some other things that I noticed from this video is how a lot of men, they don't care if they have holes in their clothing. A lot of men, like, because quite a few of the posts talked about how men want the woman to stay home. They want her to stay where she is. And part of me wonders, is that because you're going to pick the most beautiful woman as possible so that you can keep her at home so no one else sees her, so that you can make sure she has no competition, no one else is able to look at her like goddess like beauty, so that you can control that beauty? But at the same time, you might go out and cheat on her, because especially on divorce court and on the reality shows and a lot, like all these other, like, a lot of these men act like they have all the right, and some of these, like, dating or quote unquote dating experts, they talk about how a man can cheat on the woman, but the woman better not dare cheat on the man. That's not what the Bible says. Like, if we're going to talk Bible, if we're going to talk religion, and that kind of reminds me of that one couple, they're so against the LGBTQ community, except for when they invite another woman in their bedroom. Knock, knock, who's there? LGBTQ. It's like, who's there? A threesome. Who's there? Yeah, someone who you say you hate, but you actually love and invite over all of the time. You have a slumber party. But anyway, it's like a lot of these men want to control us, and they want to mold us into what they desire, what they like expect. And I don't know if it's the power or what, but it's crazy. To me, it's crazy. Like, a lot of the conservatives say, like, Democrats, progressives, and stuff are delusional, crazy, out their mind, and everything like that. But when you look at, like, oh, there was even one idiot conservative Republican guy. He bragged on his show. I'm not going to be able to find the video of it. Saw it on a progressives video. It was one of his examples, but I think it might have been TYT Sports. I think, but I have no idea which episode. But anyway, this one conservative guy, he was just like, yeah, with my wife, if she wants to read a book, she has to ask my permission. She has to show me the book. I have to clear it before she reads it. I will never, I would never, it will never happen. I will never date a man that has the nerve to try to tell me that I have to get his permission. And that's why a lot of these men, like, after I talk to them for a little bit, I want nothing to do with them because I can already see some of those red flags. And I say a lot, yeah, there's a lot of men like that. Some of them might be a little democratic too, or even moderate. A lot of the moderate guys. And sometimes I feel like moderate men are just ashamed of saying they're Republican. So that they don't embarrass themselves, they say moderate because that's safer than saying conservative, Republican, or whatever. And it might work the other way around too. Some people might be embarrassed with liberal. I don't run into that. Like, it's a lot of the MAGA Republican type men that do it. But anyway, it's like I've noticed how a lot of those men who they play the middle, or the conservative men, like years ago, before I put that I will not date a Republican on my profile, like, when I do ask them, what's your political stance? That doesn't matter. Why do you think that matters? So, see, you're a woman. You're an idiot because you think that matters. But then when I talk about being vaccinated, ew, you're vaccinated? You're stupid. You're idiotic. You're an R word. You're a B. It's like, you're garbage. You're a slave. And it was just like, okay, so you tell me politics doesn't matter, But then when I tell you that I'm vaccinated, you can't wait to tear me down. But then when I put on my profile that you must be vaccinated for me to date you, then you tell me I'm stupid or I'm judgmental. Like, do you know how many men, unvaccinated men, tell me that I'm judgmental to them because I won't date? Like, part of me is just like, hold up, wait a minute. This is a dating app. I'm putting that you must be vaccinated to date. I'm not judging. If you're not vaccinated, that's fine. Do you, boo. Do you, boo. We're never going to date, but do you? But how dare you? How small minded, how idiotic, how poorly educated are you to tell me that I'm judging you? I'm not judging. I'm trying to look for somebody I'm compatible with. I'm trying to be happy in a relationship. Because how come I keep meeting women? It's like women older than me or even my age who are telling me, don't do it. Don't get married. It's a trap. Or my man seemed great at first, but then he trapped me. He changed. Or and some of the women who we used to go to brunch or lunch or whatever, then all of a sudden he wants you at home all the time. Or first he said, oh, maybe one or two kids. All of a sudden, that number went up to 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, and one of the ladies, she was like, I don't think I can do that many. And then he was like, okay, so that means that you're going to allow me to impregnate someone else just to keep her, like, because this will make her be like, okay, so I want to make sure I don't lose my man. So now I have to have this many kids. And that's going to keep you in that house all day. That he's trying to keep you trapped. Some men want a lot of kids because that's their property, that's their name, that's their lineage, that's their image and stuff like that. But some, it's going to keep the woman busy. It's going to keep the woman in the house. But then, I kind of think it's dumb because a lot of men judge women so harshly when their body changes. They blame the woman. When I remember when Mr. Lockakee's now wife, like, I was just trying to get my money. I broke up with him and I was trying to get my money that he owes me. He owes me because, but at first, like, I would have let it go, but that was supposed to be gas money for him to go to job interviews because I was going to job interviews while working jobs. I think I was still working promotions, saving up money, and I was making payments for my grad school. But he needed money to go to interviews and stuff because, yeah, he stole from a job and lost another job. So I'm like, okay, you need employment. So, and I don't want you stealing out of your grandfather's wallet again. So, anyway, I found out he wasn't going to job interviews. He was using that to go to someone else's house and getting special candy. That's why I was like, no, you lied to me. You didn't use that money for what you said you were going to use that for. And then you leave that house to go and, like, no. After how many times did I help you get clean? And then when I was going to break up with you, once you got clean, you threatened that you were going to off yourself? Excuse me? So yeah, I wanted every penny of that back. But then he told me, he blackmailed me. You're only going to get this money back if you get back with me. You're only going to get this money back if you sleep with me X or Y times. And if it's not good enough, then you're going to have to do it more. And if you don't make up your mind within 2 weeks, I'm going to double the parameters. But while he was doing that to me, he was looking up his ex middle school sweetheart. Then he found her. Then he got with, like, while telling, like, his wife doesn't realize the entire time he was blackmailing me, telling me that I had to sleep with him and get back with him. He was getting back with her and impregnated her. It's like they weren't married. They were like, but he got her pregnant And then I'm still trying to get my money. She called me, or first she messaged me on Facebook, then called me, calling me the N word and every other word, telling me, threatening me that if I called again, she was going to take me to court. And I'm like, I just want my money. She was like, no, you don't. You want my man. I was like, no, I broke up with him. He's a no good, stealing, special candy addicted loser. No, I don't want him. And I don't know, it's just, he only wanted me because I made his life easier. When he needed the quote unquote gas money, because I didn't know it was just quote unquote, I thought it was gas money. When it's like going grocery shopping, it's like got the coupons and I went on websites to find out every way to save money so that, especially after his grandmother passed away, that the refrigerator could be filled with food so his grandfather doesn't have to be scared of not having food. And it's like there's other things, like even with him, it's like trying to make sure he stayed away from certain people so that he didn't get back on it. But then when I would get to the house and he was at work, but then he would take forever to get home, I already knew he's at his friend's house, get kind of like treating it like Halloween again. He's trick or treating for special candy again. And so it's like, but yeah, the only reason he wanted me is so he can entrap me and belittle. Like, he knew I was going for my second master's, and it's like at first he was pretending that he liked it, but once I was halfway over, because I think I remember the day where I got a notification saying you're halfway done, congratulations. Like every time he could, he was like, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. Like, I'm doing homework, I'm doing homework. So then I would have to, like, not only escape the family trauma at my house, but then to escape like him trying to get me off my goal, I had to hide out at McDonald's and Subways and Taco Bells and KFC's and like different fast food places to do my homework so that I could finish. It's like that's why I graduated. I was able to do all my homework because I was able to like go to these places. And I am so thankful, especially for there's the KFC staff at a specific location, but I won't say where and everything. But then there is a specific McDonald's as well. It's like I remember when I finished my last class and I told the lady, she was like, no, it's like we had kind of like a mini version of a Thanksgiving dinner. Like some of the staff, they all ordered food after and they ate with me and stuff like that. And it was like so nice. And it was like, that was like the closest I got to an open house for graduating. Because again, yeah, never went to any of my college graduations, never had an open house or, and so yeah, that was literally like the only kind of way that I celebrate it, which kind of hurts still, but I still finished, and no one can take my education away. I, well, it was an adventure and I loved it, but with Mr. No Heart, hoo and a lot of guys, like, I felt like he only wanted me to start the business so I can use up my money and put more credit on my credit card and stuff because that will put me down because he saw that I was starting to like look up investing and look up ways so I can get my start saving money for a mortgage and buying a house. And he wanted me to be able to buy the house, but he wanted ownership of the house, or he wanted to make sure that him and his daughters were going to be able to be in there too. And that was never going to happen. And I think the only reason why it took him 4 or 5 years. No, it took him 5 years to tell me he loved me. Yeah, took him 5 years. But I think it was only because he wanted to be able to make sure that he was going to have access to what my parents worked so hard for and for my whatever I had saved and everything like that. And he knew I had a very good credit score. And even though he kept like, oh, that's ugly, that's not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're not, like every time I would work and create, like, and even with my novel, I think that's why I'm so scared to finish it because I'm like, it's not going to be good enough, it's not going to be good enough because both my mom and my ex, Mr. No Heart, they didn't think anything of me with my writing. My ex told me I'm only going to read it if you publish it. And then with my poem for when I was at Oakland University, my major's in English, I took poetry classes. And I remember there was one poem that I really like, a lot of my friends liked too, but I was really proud of. And I showed it to them. And I remember later that week I was making us dinner or whatever. I would go to the garbage. It might have been breakfast, but I think it was dinner. Anyways, he wasn't at the house, so it couldn't have been breakfast. Maybe I was making breakfast for dinner. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I went to the garbage can to throw away eggshells because I remember specifically it was eggshells. And yeah, he threw it away. He threw the copy of my poem away. And he never brought it up either. Never. And then when I would show him my research for investing and things like that, he would laugh at me, literally laugh at me. But then whenever he needed money for gas so he can go to work because he never saved enough money because he had a terrible credit score and he couldn't even get a bank account yet, he had to save and work so hard just to get into the credit union. So, yeah. hmm And then to get his vehicle, his used car, he didn't have enough money. And so he wanted me to jump when he said jump. So he called me, told me to go to the ATM, then drive all the way to his house, which was like almost an hour away, so that I can give him the money, or it was lend, but hand him the money right then and there. Then he wanted me, like, I don't know if he wanted me to, like, I don't even know what, but I just remember it was really odd because it's like he expected me to stay at the house because he wanted, what, when he got back to the house or whatever. And I was just like, no, like, this is my summertime and I'm trying to get my projects in. Like, because I remember telling him that I was trying to work on my stuff and he kind of rolled his eyes and acted like it was nothing. And it's like even dating after him, because there's so much more. Like that guy, ooh, I learned so much about what not to tolerate. And a lot of the things on dating apps of what I don't want, he doesn't fall on. Like, he says he's a Democrat, but I question that. And because his mother and his family members are such MAGA, such racist, such bigots, and this is all in my opinion, but you guys all know what his mom told me the first night she met me. And then when all of her kids have been arrested before, but when she told me it was my turn to tell her about when I've been arrested, and when I was like, none of my siblings or I have been arrested, she got upset. She got upset. But then men after him, it's like whenever I would talk about investing or whatever, oh, that's stupid. Only white men invest. Do you know how many times I've heard that from black and white men? Men would tell me it's stupid for a woman to invest. What's a woman know about investing? Investing's like, no, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to get your nails done, get your hair done, buy more expensive hair. Like a lot of black men would like invest in better hair. Hair is short term. It's like at least I'm trying to invest in something so that if an emergency happens or whatever, it's like I will have something to back me up. But like a lot of men, they want me to spend all the money on beauty, and it's like they want me to just look good for them. Little boy, you couldn't handle my beauty. If I did all of the things that you want, like, no, you couldn't handle me. You wouldn't want me in public. Oh, Mr. No Heart would never want me in public. With all, like, if I dolled myself, because I remember there was a few times where I did doll myself up because I had a special project and presentation to do, and he saw me after, but I drove up to his house, so it was in the summer, so all the neighbors were outside. Oh, those men were like, "Hey, beautiful, how you doing?" Oh, it's like, oh, he is lucky to have you. Oh, look at you. You look more beautiful than a flower. What do you have going? Like, it was so hilarious. And my ex, he ran out, like, he was playing video games. I don't know who let him know. He ran out that house so quickly. He ran out that house so quickly. Oh, let me help you use your bags. Yeah, go in the house. Go in. Like, oh yeah, but it's like the neighbor's like, get in the house. I'm like, okay, what's your issue? What's your issue? So, anyway, with my savings or with like my plans with money and stuff, like some men, they want to cage me in, lock me in because they want to use all of my money or the money that I've saved, because I had to use a lot of my money, which hurt. But in order to be diagnosed, yeah, health insurance doesn't pay for everything, and having to get MRI after MRI and CAT scans and blood work after oh my gosh, so many types of blood work. And like if I listed all of the tests, but that's thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. So, but with the money that I did save, it was funny how a lot of the men were like, "Oh, we're gonna go on cruises. Yeah, we're gonna use that money. Why do you have that money? They want to use in my opinion, they want to use my money so that I won't have anything saved, anything left. So then I would have to depend on them because once I have to depend on them, I have to do as they say. Maybe I'm out of the loop, but literally, you do not know how many men would tell me how they were going to use my money when I was like, no, no, you can save for that. Oh no, no, it's like yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll save some money, I'll save some money, but yeah, you got all that money. It's like you got nothing to use it for. It's like yeah, we could just use that money. Like oh, I know the perfect thing. Or oh, and I want some Nikes too. It's like yeah, I'll take you shopping and we can get we can get me some Nikes, or we can get let's see, there was one. Well, he wanted a suit. And then there was another one. He was all about trips and stuff. So, oh, we can go to Jamaica. And oh, I know these places at Jamaica you're just going to love. And there's this one place and they have the best chicken and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, on and on and on. Oh, I love seafood though. So I would probably like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like, oh, that's bet, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It's just the way they sounded like once they wanted to use my money. But and then that's one reason why with the men who have money spread on a table, white or black, 'cause I've even seen Middle Eastern men do that lately, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, what? You got your culture? That I'm a little shocked, but okay, okay. Oh yeah, and it's Middle Eastern American month, so yeah, happy Middle Eastern American month. So okay, but I'm gonna keep going. It's like with money, it's like a lot of the men love the ownership of a woman and the power that they can have with the money versus woman. Because if the woman wants her hair done or her nails done, then they're going to want something, and you already know what that something is. If the woman doesn't clean up around the house or cook, then he may not give her A, B, and C. And but then if she wants to work, a lot of men try to convince, like, you don't need to work, stay home, that's not your job, that's not your position, that's a man's obligation, that's a man's thing. But that's only for power, to keep her in the house, to keep the power. And for some, it's because the woman is so beautiful and amazing, they don't want anything threatening their loss of the object they have power over. Yes, it's like in this context, I'm calling her an object because that's how the man sees, not how I see her. Because he has to, like, the house is the cage. If he lets her out, then she might find opportunity, or she might find someone that sees the value in her and tell her, oh, you only have one life to live. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And so many men don't want a woman to live her dreams. There was, okay, well, I might need, you know what, this will be a separate piece, but there was one guy that I met, and yeah, let's just say he wanted me to just shut up and cook. And it got to a point where I think he got tired because I was writing my books. Like he would call me, like, "What are you doing?" Writing my novel and blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, you're still working on your projects, even though he was starting his own businesses too. And I wasn't like, the thing was, I was encouraging him. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman. I am of color. and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.